When it comes to jobs and working, there's always a variety to choose from. You have retail services, corporation services, transportation services, construction, marketing, technology, etc. However, in the recent years, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, jobs have been suffering a decrease due to people simply choosing not to work anymore. Today, we're going to look into various perspectives of how current management employees view this decline of employment and their thoughts on this issue. Michael J. Ibarra, who works at Jollibee, tells us how he has struggled with managing a work life between his school and social life.
My name is Michael Joseph Bitog Ibarra. Most people just call me MJ. I am 19 years old and I am a front of house worker at a Filipino fast food restaurant. I have been working at Jollibee since January of 2021, although there was like a 1 month period where I quit due to school. But since because of the Omicron outbreak, school was delayed for 3 months, so that gave me an opportunity to come back to my job where I still am now. My reason for not wanting to work anymore was that I was getting assigned many hours that, like, I was being assigned more hours than I can handle in between my social life, my personal life, and my school life. That's the reason why I quit. But that was a personal reason. I can't say for sure why others quit. I know that some people, when they quit, it's because of the work environment, how they're treated. I'm grateful to say that I have been treated well since I came back to Jollibee. So fall semester, my first fall semester at Chafee, I was actually studying to be a doctor. I was actually doing that full time. I didn't work. I kept my social life to a minimum because I was inside the entire time because social distancing. And then for the spring semester of my first year still, I decided that I was going to work. Because all I had was 4 classes and it's online, so I had an open schedule, so I thought to myself, hey, I can work, I can balance this seems easy. To my surprise, it was not easy, not at all. With the amount of times I was working, it was just 3 to 4 days, and just that was a little bit overwhelming. I ended up dropping a couple of classes just so I can work, which was a terrible idea. Always focus on education, work comes second. So the fall semester of my second year, I was able to balance it a bit more. I learned, so I was able to limit my days I was working. I was able to set specific days for work so I can focus on school. That was working for a little bit until I got the opportunity to get promoted here. But the thing is, what I didn't realize when I got promoted is I had to work full time. I had to work 36 hours, I'd have to work 5 days a week, especially since we were so severely understaffed at the back of house, which is where I usually work. So I was working 5 to 6 days. I barely had any time for school. I again dropped out of 2 classes to remain at 1 class, which is again that idea. School is important. And towards the end of the semester, that's when I quit because I wanted to focus on school. We were back on campus, or so it seemed, because about a week before school started, we got the announcement that for the first month, we would be online again. So I thought, okay, not that bad. I can handle online school for 1 more month. So I did the online school. I went back to Jollibee because why not? We were online again, and I was only working 2 days a week. So I was able to keep my grades up even with the classes I was taking, which I was grateful for. But then we got extended for online another month, which kind of hurt me mentally because I was being pessimistic. Because with the track record we had on how we handled like the first outbreak, I was thinking to myself, we're not going back on campus. So I kind of zoned out again. I barely did any of my homework assignments. I was again focusing on work. But luckily we were able to go back on campus again. They announced that we are for sure going back on campus. So that kind of revigorated me. I toned down my work hours a bit. And this is where we are today. I can safely say I've been safely handling work and school now after 1 year of learning how to do so.
Julien Malolos emphasizes what's it like to get out of an unhealthy workplace environment.
Hi, my name is Julien Malolos. I'm 20 years old and I'm a cook at Yukaku in Victoria Gardens. I don't really dislike anything about my current job. If anything, I just have love for it. Uh, I definitely like that Yukaku really does have that family feeling to it, and you can't really say that about a lot of jobs. Like some jobs, like they promote that, but you don't really feel it. Here at Yukaku, I can get along fairly well with everyone, including my managers, and they don't feel like my managers. They feel like my friends. So I feel comfortable around them if I have to say anything to them, if I have any requests, questions, complaints, everything is all good. No one's really hard on each other. We try to lift each other up with kindness instead of being rude if one of us makes a mistake, and I deeply respect that about the environment. At Yukaku, no, I haven't felt like I have been understaffed. Yeah, there are times where there are less workers than I would like, but under technical circumstances, we're not really understaffed. It's just more like they're holding back some of their employees for the sake of budget cuts. And Yukaku is a fairly workable environment when you have two people in like a 4-person kitchen. It's fine. Like sometimes I don't like it, but it's something that's manageable. Jollibee, however, my first job, I have experienced understaffment at a great level. Uh, it's gotten to the point where they're like desperate for hiring people. I would post on my Instagram like, "Hey, come join us at Jollibee," and because it doesn't just benefit them, it benefits me too. I most definitely felt this understaffment working at the front. There was a day where I had to work 2 registers at once. I had to deal with one customer, and as soon as I'm about to process their payment, I deal with another one. And it was just wild. I had no one else helping me, and then there were just 2 other people trying to assemble the orders. I've had days where I'm working in the kitchen, and there's only like maybe 4 of us when there should be like 6 or 8, and things get hectic, and I have to like work really fast, and it's kind of stressful.
According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, in 2020 there was approximately 63.4% of labor force that increased in the United States alone. However, now in 2022, continuing within the COVID-19 pandemic, there has been a great decline in jobs that decreased to 62.4%, not only due to unemployment claims, but because people are simply choosing not to work anymore. Ruben Mendez, a store manager, informed us how a proper workplace environment should be conducted.
Ruben Mendez, 32 years old, and I work at Vans. I've been a store manager a little less than 2 years. It's a little challenging, a little difficult dealing with different personalities and different aspects and opinions of others, but overall, as long as we have one goal and we obtain that goal, it goes pretty easy. The energy does feed off each other, depending how managers treat employees, how employees treat management, that kind of defines of like how the day goes and how the work week is. So just depending, I would say, on how everyone treats each other and how everyone respects each other's personal opinions, beliefs, and everything, I feel like that can control how the day goes and how the mood of the store is. This company that I work for now has done a great job of taking care of the employees and putting people first. It's never been about the money, it's never been about the dollar, it's been about comfort and making sure everyone wants to be here. I know a lot of companies don't have this opinion or don't really care enough, but I feel like here they've done a better job and just noticing, just being out, networking, looking at other locations that people are trying to maintain these employees, so they're trying to do what they can to get the people to stay employed or just apply to the location.
Adrianna Ochoa, who is a first-time small business owner, details how she seeks to have a stable working establishment for her and her future employees amidst the COVID-19 pandemic.
My name is Adrianna Ochoa. I am 23 years old and I am a lash artist in Scottsdale, Arizona. So, for a while during the pandemic, when I was just an independent contractor, I felt like no one wanted to work. And I still feel like there is a problem when I speak to my clients and they kind of experience the same thing amongst their job fields. I think it's harder to find staff who's willing to work during times like this, and it is unfortunate because I do think people are willing to pay more and train more and offer more opportunities for these job openings, but I definitely do think that was more of a feeling towards like 2020, early mid 2020 versus now. I do think people are more understanding and they're more willing to do trainings and learn another job so they know they have more security.
Alec Hernandez, who does community service work, explains what it's like having a first job and his thoughts about manageable workplace environments.
My name is Alec Hernandez. I'm 18 years old and I am a community services assistant with the city of Fontana. I think a perfect workplace environment is when everyone's happy and communicating and, on the same page. You don't want things to go downhill, and you just want to make sure everyone's happy where they are, and if there are any grievances or problems or anything like that they get addressed. So, and I think that all these problems get addressed and grievances and all that it just makes for a good workplace environment and everyone's happy and efficient.
With every job and workplace environment being different, it's important to remember that your time and well-being will always come first as an individual. Although some workplace environments have changed permanently due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we see that people are still doing the best that they can at their current jobs to continue to have a stable income and to make a good living for themselves.
What I think companies should do to prevent being understaffed is to be mindful of their employees' personal life. We have a life outside of work. We have family to take care of. We have friends to see. And if companies keep that in mind, if they assign hours based on that in mind, maybe we wouldn't be so understaffed.